The Mount of Olives, site of several of the key events in the life of Jesus and a prophetically significant location from the perspective of both the Old and New Testaments. From its heights you can behold the city of Jerusalem spread out before you, floating like a vision of all time. In the early 1900s, the land of Israel was desolate and empty, largely a desert. Centuries of abuse had robbed the land of its forests, vegetation, and natural beauty. In 1901, Keren Kayamet Le-Israel Jewish National Fund was established and began raising money to purchase tracts of land throughout their ancient homeland. As the guardians of the land of promise, they have now planted over 250 million trees and developed the land in many other ways. KKL-JNF also located, researched, and restored many of Israel's unique archaeological and historical sites. The land flowing with milk and honey is being restored to its former beauty. Jerusalem is the capital of Israel, given to the tribe of Benjamin. The old city is surrounded by a wall measuring some 4 kilometers. Along the eastern wall lies a footpath constructed by the Jewish National Fund Canada. Less than a kilometer away lies the Kidron Valley. It separates Jerusalem from the Mount of Olives.
This is the Mount of Olives overlooking the city of Jerusalem from the east. Jerusalem is very important in Christian tradition, being the place which saw the final days of Jesus. Now, the Mount of Olives is the place where Jesus first arrives on entering into Jerusalem. You have the triumphal entrance. Later on the lower slopes of the Mount of Olives, you have the site of Gethsemane, where Jesus and his disciples spend the night, and it's there that he is pointed out by Judas and then led away by the Roman soldiers for the trial in front of Pontius Pilate. For later Christian belief that this is the place from whence Jesus will come. Eventually, he will enter in from the east through the Golden Gate and into the city during the final days.
The view from the Mount of Olives is wondrous. The densely packed walled city of Jerusalem, embraced by the Hinnom and Kidron valleys, the Golden Gate to Mount Moriah, the Temple Mount, Mount Zion, City of David, and more all bring alive both prophecy and psalms. To Jews, the Mount of Olives is a precious burial place. Jewish tradition holds that the first dead will be raised to life at this very spot. There are an estimated 150,000 graves on the Mount of Olives. Both Christian and Jew look forward to the day when the Messiah's foot lands upon the Mount of Olives. The graves open and the dead are raised to life. It will signal the dawn of a new epoch, an era of peace on earth.